Maria, Sorel, Yokoi, and Freeze will be after this. So, this will be very interesting to see. 100-point limit as always, and then 4 rounds a match, 10, 8, 6, and 4-point allocations. But we are live. It's the first round. I'm going to ride on board with Cacao. Everybody going to the left except for Zeet, but Zeet doesn't care. He's already right where he needs to be into that first drift turn, and that's going to be Hugo making a very uncharacteristic mistake. The man who's been running up front pretty much all day, making a mistake. Zeet and Panda, though, they are very close. Cacao lurking in the shadows. A very tight inside line from Cacao to overtake the lead. 4,000s ahead, 3,000s behind Panda now, but he gets a better exit out of the turn, and it's Cacao who's going to take that first round. Panda, I believe, tapped the wall a little bit. Gets second. Hugo in third. Zeet in fourth. Solid round from these drivers. Quick and clean racing. That's what we like to see. So let's try with Zeet. Why not? The only driver going to the right side. Everyone else heading over to the left. No problem there. The map is mirrored in every single aspect. And there's the touch from Zeet. We're going to go with Cacao again. Or actually, let's hop on board with Hugo. The French pack leading the way. Panda, Hugo, Cacao. Very close to the wall, Hugo. And he's just trying to dive down the inside, but Panda with a much better exit line. So Panda's going to take the round. Hugo again in second. Or sorry, Hugo in third. Cacao in third. Zeet does not make it to the end. Incredibly unfortunate for him. We ride on board with Panda. Rocking that default car skin. Yeah, you don't have to have the best looking car, you just gotta have one that represents you, and for Panda that's gonna be France, much like the majority of this player base. That and German, but I think we only have one German. So it'll be interesting to see though. Hugo very far ahead, and Panda almost overtaking Cacao at the line, just not enough. Everyone here incredibly close driving. You love to see it. I have to agree with Joe. They all definitely deserve to be in the final, as we have a three-way tie. 24 points, Hugo, Panda, and Cacao. Zeet with a lowly 8. It's Team France in the driver's seat right here. But only 2 of them will get to move on. You see Cacao with a terrifyingly good inside line. But Panda's going to fight back and actually get the overtake? Not quite. He did not have the speed he wanted. Cacao coming back, though, and there's Hugo with the wall touch. Hugo on par for another round, but not going to happen. Cacao will take this round ahead of Panda. Zeet picking up 6 points. Hugo with 3, almost overtaking Zeet at the end, actually. Still very early on, but that is going to do it for Mirror. It's Cacao only at 34 points, Panda 32, Hugo with 30. Or was it 28? I don't remember. I didn't check. But overall, some solid matching on Uptown Showdown. But we go into the live rounds, 4 rounds per map. Riding on board with Panda. Perhaps going to be showing us the Panda Express here. It's right off the start. Him and Zeet keeping it pretty close. Excuse me. Hugo, though, coming back. Hugo getting very close to the wall. Almost backfires on him. But into the loop, it's Panda taking the lead right now. Barely ahead of Zeet. That inside line. Hugo also at the inside line. It's almost like there was a slipstream. Hugo was taking advantage of into the turns of the apartment complex. Hugo and Panda keeping it close on the inside. Hugo a lot closer on the inside. And Hugo almost touching the wall. He got a bit of a speed drift. And now Hugo's going to overtake. Look at these lines out of Hugo. Man is on an absolute tear. And of course, as I say that, he hits the wall. Cacao takes the round. 400th ahead of Panda. Hugo, we saw just the slightest graze of the wall. And there goes your speed. Zeet having to bring up the rear, unfortunately. But Cacao expanding his lead by 4 points over Panda. Hugo, an uncharacteristic third for him. Usually he's sitting at the top at this point, either with 50 points or 60 points, or at the very least, like maybe 58 or so. But yeah, it's not really working out for him right now. So we'll see what the ESWC car can do. Said it once and I'll say it again. ESWC liveries are probably some of the best I've ever seen. But what is the best I've ever seen is Hugo's performance right now. Still sitting up front. Much cleaner line. Slight, incredibly, fractionally second speed drift just to gain some speed. And this time, Hugo's not going to mess it up. Hugo's going to take the round. 6 thousandths. Just about. Or 6 hundredths, excuse me. To Cacao. Z getting a third place. Panda. Looks like Panda might have touched a wall and had to drop back. So that gap is now 8. And Hugo, or from Cacao to Hugo and Panda, both of whom have 44 points, and Zeet with 24 points. Let's ride with Cacao here, the third round, and then we'll hop on with Zeet in the last round. You can just see how incredibly close this pack is here. 200ths separating first from fourth. The looping is very, very crucial. As Cacao with, I don't know, a marginally worse line. He does pick up some ground, but not enough. But getting through these turns here, now he's gaining ground. You can see Hugo really pushing it. Same with Zeet. Same with Panda. Panda getting overtaken. Cacao with a lot more speed coming out of the jump there. A wide line to the inside. There's Zeet almost hitting the wall. It's going to be at the line. And Cacao takes second place. Less than a nose. Got a cack of the lung. Yeah, almost some sub 49s. I don't know if we'll see it. I have not checked the leaderboards to see if we've had world record changes. We probably have, but we'll have to worry about those later. Right now, though, Zeet giving us a nice view of the battlefield. As we see Hugo in front, Panda right beneath Zeet's wheel. And actually a much better turn out of the loop is going to give Zeet the speed he needs. You can see him just slowly starting to overtake. And there's the overtake onto Panda. And it's Cacao currently sitting in fourth position. Zeet with a much tighter line down the inside. Through the engine off. It's Panda and it's Cacao coming back with a vengeance, and Zeet touching the wall. So Hugo is going to pick up another round here, followed by Cacao and Panda. Oh, that was a very close round. Just about, if my math is correct, we're looking at about a 9,000th of a finish, and Zeet bunking at the finish. Does not have to get locked in the clock tower, thankfully. I also forgot to turn my mic back on again. I'm solid. Well, give you guys a the aesthetic, the ASMR version of this cup. Sorry, I was hacking up a lung again because my throat's still sore and I'm still in pain. But who cares? We're here again, round number 2. We're gonna give Zeet some love here, giving us a nice little overview of the competition. So we go into the jump. Who is that going wide? That's Hugo going way off to the right. But does come back as Zeet. A wall touch. He's trying to push it. Pushing it a little too hard as Cacao gets that first magnet boost. Does catch up to Panda. A tighter line on the inside. Down the magnet they go. Panda coming right back with that magnet boost. Same with Hugo. Hugo's already so far in front. He's got nothing to worry about. Z not too far back this time. Did not mess up. If I had to bet on it, I feel like he might have messed up the jump here. Panda with an awkward line, and that's going to give Cacao the second place. Panda's second was almost secured. And then you just saw he took the reset checkpoint just a little bit wrong. And it just all sort of fell apart for him. So it's 82 between Cacao and Hugo. Panda with 70 and Zeet with 42. So the two of the three Frenchmen doing work right now. Panda still not too far behind. Who knows, maybe we end up with a quadruple finalist scenario. That would certainly be something. But it is Team France in control of pretty much everything here. I mean, if history's anything to go off of, the French do enjoy controlling a lot of area, and then not, and then doing it again, and then not. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to European history that much. Oh, Cacao there. You can see the magnet boost. You do leave the surface, but because of the magnet pulling you down, you gain more speed. Panda, though, with the mistake. So Panda gonna lose that second position. It's Hugo up in front. Cacao bringing up the second place here. We hop back. Panda getting overtaken by Z right at the end. Got that just in time. So Hugo has to finish at least second to gain finalists in Cacao. If Cacao wins, it'll be a double finalist going into the next map. We'll have to see, though. Running on board with Panda, who has 74 points. He's got a little bit of work to do if he wants to reach finalist and potentially earn a spot in the grand finals, and Zeet has a mountain of work to do. The question is, does he have all his climbing gear? We'll have to wait and see. Panda, the very aggressive line. Ooh, Cacao having to release. Looked like he was going to go into the water, a little bit of a swim. Or maybe he wanted to go to the tiki bar, who knows. But Panda having to stick behind Hugo, who gets the no drift and slams right into the wall. So Panda will inherit that. Says, thank you very much. Easiest overtake of my life. And as long as he can keep it together, Panda will win this round. Zeet will get second, which would be very good for him. The gaps are large enough. There's Zeet, Hugo, and Cacao. Hugo, Zeet, Cacao cross the line. So, Hugo will not be getting finalist mode here, but will be 4 points off. So all he really has to do is just finish the next round on the next map, and he'll gain it. Cacao, at least third for him, will lock in a finalist. As we move on to the next round here, it's mixing it up. After sitting up front in his splits for pretty much the entirety of this competition, sitting at the back is a very odd feeling. I've been there myself, so I completely understand and sympathize with that. But here we go. It's the first round of potentially many here on mixing it up. We're right on board with Hugo, the man currently in the lead, 98 points. Cacao with 94, Panda with 84, and then Zeet with 56. All Hugo has to do is cross the line, and all Cacao has to do is make sure he's third or better. And it'll be a double finalist scenario. And right now, well, Hugo's just taking it easy. He knows his points. He knows the point limit. He's got nothing to worry about. Cacao, though, really pushing for it. And as I say that, Hugo fighting back. He knows he needs to finish, but he's like, nah, I wanna at least win. And it looks like he probably will just win this round. Wasting no time at all. Across the line he goes, and it's Hugo and Cacao pushing through for the spinner. Panda in third, Zeet in fourth, and we will have a double finalist scenario here. Hugo and Cacao. If Panda can win a round, Panda will enter finalist mode. And then Zeet, well, if Zeet somehow gets finalist mode, then Zeet has either pulled out the PayPal or pulled out one of the greatest stretches of skill we've ever seen, as it was Panda hitting the wall there. So right on board with Hugo. Hugo is pulling out a massive lead. I think Cacao might have had to release, almost sliding out of the sausage turn. But right now it's the Hugo show. Absolutely running amok up front. He does drop that gear. I just realized I kept the dashboard on. Oh well, what can you do? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Hugo. Was there ever any doubt? As Hugo picks up the win and moves on to the grand finals. I'm just going to turn that off. So Hugo, your first grand finalist. Hard-fought victory for him. So now it's Cacao. Let's see if he can replicate that. Panda needs to finish at least. Actually, Panda just needs to finish to gain access to finalists and potentially have a chance. Although Cacao has been on an absolute run. So it's going to be... It could possibly be somebody else. We could see a denial here, but with how Cacao has been running this game, I don't know if that's going to happen. He has to have some severe mistake, or Panda can carry it back. You can see the speed Panda's carrying. He's trying to deny Cacao over the little dirt bumps into the final set of turns. Cacao holding on to the road. He dodges the pillars into the finish, and Cacao will punch his ticket to the grand finals. Panda does pick up his finalist mode, but it is too little, too late. So Team France will find themselves 2 ticket holders to the grand final show. We must say goodbye to Panda and Zeet, unfortunately. Tried their best, but their road ends here. That is one area where you really can gain a ton of time just by getting it right. When I was validating the original version, that was definitely one of the problem areas I found. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, semifinal number 2. Only 3 drivers, unfortunately. Freeze not able to make it today. As we see Yokoi almost going into the wall there. Sorel with the early lead. But Marius fighting back right now. Over the first jump, you can see Arel immediately diving to the left side, getting a much wider angle into the turn. Marius does cross the checkpoint line first, but he was at a much more harsher angle, rather, so was not able to keep the speed. Excuse me. There it is. Sorel currently in the lead. So he goes very close to the inside there. Marius trying to catch up. Yokoi a little too far back. Marius a slight release to gain more speed. We'll just use the follow cam. That way we can see what we're supposed to be seeing. As they go down. Ooh, Marius having to release there. Not what he wanted, and it's going to be Arel. Whoa, Yokoi with the cut. Oh, that almost worked. Oh, Yokoi so close. You gotta respect the kata. He almost pulled it off. Okay, let's ride on board with Yokoi. That was one we saw. There it is. There's the hit. That was one area we did see drivers kind of experimenting with when it came to cutting. And depending on how you get it, you could make it. There's Arel. An earlier landing, maintaining that lead. Marius in hot pursuit, and Yokoi just a little too far back through the definitely very terrifying, not horribly placed pillars of death. There you go, Arel. Let's ride on board with him. Just in command of this match right now. Continually holding up the flag for France, as his fellow countrymen did in just the match prior. As he takes the lead into the triple looping. This uphill drift, one that took me so much time to get right, but these guys, well, they just get it right away. And there's going to be another round for Arel. No problem at all. 103.2. Marius a 104.7 and Yokoi 106.1. You saw that touch at the start completely killed his speed. And he just lost all hope of winning that. unfortunately, we did not get to see Freeze. Freeze did tell me he was not going to be here, so that is obviously something I like. You know, it sucks when people can't make it, but when they tell you and they say, hey, can't make it, then, you know, it sucks, but, you know, at least you're in the know. But on to the third round here. It's a lot closer now. And as I say that, these cars starting to spread apart a little bit. You can see Arel just pulling away once more. Marius in close proximity along with Yokoi. We'll see if Yokoi goes for the shortcut. I don't even know if it's a shortcut at this point. I think it's more of just an alt route. But who knows? We'll have to see here. Coming out, I believe the strat is doing a bug slide through the checkpoint to try and... Yep, there it is, there it is. And he messes it up. Oh. Yokoi with the line... He had the line up. He had it proper. But just could not make it happen. He was a little too wide. So Yokoi will have to settle once again for third position. There was more than enough time, so it wasn't like he was, you know, rushing to get to the end. But Yokoi, once again in third position. Arel, 3 for 3. As we move on to the final round here at Inside Outside In. For some, or for one of these drivers, it'll be the last time they ever get to drive on this circuit. I'm sure they might be kind of happy to hear. For others, they'll have to potentially do it one more time. So they go, oh, Yokoi! Using the car's... The weight transfer of the car. He got an amazing launch off of the ramp. But it didn't work out. He had to do a bunch of releasing. So he finds himself 8/10 back. I want to see this cut. I want to see this cut work in real time. Because that would be insane. And if he does get it, could he potentially snipe Marius? Well, let's see if he can do it. Oh, he doesn't get the bug slide. He doesn't get the bug slide. There it is. The cut works. The cut works. The cut works, and Yokoi steals a second place from Marius. Unfortunately, that's the only map you can really cut in. But we are just getting to the end of warm-up, and we'll be going live 4 rounds on Waterlogged. It's Arel in the lead with 40, Marius in second with 30, and Yokoi in third with 26. And I am holding the spot of Freeze, but unlike Freeze, I have no points, and I am not good. But into the first round we go with Yokoi, who gets to start the best, followed by Arel, and you can hear Marius just in the background as they drive through these turns over the jump, leaving the complex. And there's actually Marius overtaking into Yokoi and Arel. Too close for a 3-man match. I was expecting 4. Unfortunately, speaking of unfortunately, Arel with the mistake, so Marius extending his lead 3/10 to Yokoi. I think Arel may have... No, I don't think he respawned. I think he just sort of kept the speed going. He was 2.4, 2.7. Okay, so he must have respawned. But it's gonna be Marius. It's gonna be Yokoi. It's gonna be Arel. So the perfect run for Arel ends here, as Marius picks up 10 points. So he'll gain the lead. Or no, he won't. He'll still be in second with 40. So on to the second round, excuse me, we go. Only 10, 12 points. 12 points separating first from third. I promise you guys I can do math effectively. But it's Arel with the early lead, followed by Yokoi. Through the jump, Marius still lagging behind a little bit. Marius fighting back, though. It's going to be the battle for second as Arel takes everything. for himself. I will probably end up adjusting the points for the finals. But right now, it's Arel in the driver's seat. Marius with the overtake on Yokoi. Through the resetting checkpoint they go, and Arel picking up another round. So he'll extend his lead by 8 points as we go into round 3. Would have been interesting to give Panda and who tried to qualify in this group. Possibly Volnera. Fortunately not. I'm sure it definitely would have been interesting, especially with Arel and his level of dominance. We could have seen an all-French final. But I don't know if we will, as Yokoi with the touch, and well, that's what happens. Touch, and you have to take the very big slope of shame. As it's Arel right now, getting one magnet boost. Will he get the second one? No, he won't. Doesn't matter, though. The gap to Marius, 1.1, as Arel goes very, very wide and gains a ton of speed coming out of that magnet boost. Or coming off of the magnet, excuse me. So for right now, he finds himself running up front. The world record currently, as he crosses the line, so it's a 58.13. And if we just take a peek over at the world records, it is a 57.36. So... excuse me. Arel, not close to the world record, but he doesn't really care. 20 points separating first from third. 66, 56, 46. The final round here of Waterlog before we move on to the next map, which is I don't remember. Nor do I know. Yokoi, once again, you can see just slightly different lines, but similar results here as Yokoi overtaking the lead. Goes high on the turn. Will lose out. So Arel once again in a very commanding position. Marius losing some time to Yokoi. Let's oh, Marius actually overtakes Yokoi. What happened there? Yokoi must have had a bit of an error. Yeah, I will have a chat with Marius after this. Here we go. Arel once again winning another round. Marius in second, Yokoi in third. So Arel is potentially 3 rounds away, 3 wins away from getting finalist. And then Marius will still have some work to do. Yokoi still very much in it. It is unfortunately only a 3-man. Was not expecting 3. We were looking for 4, but Freeze had to, unfortunately, step out as we move on to Leaps of Faith. But here we go into the first round of 4. Arel potentially looking at getting his spot in the grand finals. 76 points, 64-52. Arel, Marius, Yokoi. 3 out of the 4 drivers. Leaps of Faith will ride on board with Arel for the first round. Like I said, he is the one who is most likely to get the rounds he needs, but with that touch, he won't gain 10 unless his competitors mess up, so we'll ride with Yokoi, who's overtaken that first spot. You can hear him having to release to avoid hitting the wall. Marius coming back, though. The Safe Meister. Up and over. Yokoi goes. See them splitting the poles. Marius with that inside line will have less time to wait. Yokoi going over the middle. He does get the bounce, but it's not enough to catch up. And actually, as I say that, he gets more speed down into the final... no way! Oh, the final jump. Marius doesn't have to bounce off of the starting ramp, so he'll just pick up that 10 points very cleanly. As he tries to bring it back again. 8 points separate him and Arel. Arel 82. We'll ride with Marius. See what he's got in store for us. Once again, going into Leaps of Faith, did have a little bit of a vote. Okay, it seems like whoever I spectate usually dies. I did have a bit of a vote for Leaps of Faith. I said, you know, hey, do we go for a new start that's closer to the first checkpoint, or do we just keep it? And everyone vote said, hey, just keep it. We're fine. We don't need any alterations that drastic. I thought that would have been more due to server issues we've seen, but not quite. Yukoi over the middle. It's Arel up front, though. Does Arel get it? Yes, he does. Oh, Yukoi misses. Where is Marius? Marius takes the safe finish. I guess he saw that Yukoi had messed up. Yukoi just taking this finish timeout to, well, I guess practice the risky a little bit, but has to settle for the safe fin. So it's Arel 1 round away, potentially, from finalist mode. As long as he finishes in second, he will grab that finalist mode, and we'll just have to win the following round. So let's give him some love. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if Arel can get himself set up for the grand finals. And we'll see if anything comes of it, as he does get the start the best. Some people just PF all the way until the first checkpoint, but you can do a little bit of a, you can hold one of the directions and actually get the landing he did that you saw Arel get. I'll be honest, I found it out completely on accident. I had accidentally turned while I was going down, and I realized, oh my god, I got such an amazing landing. But here we go. Speaking of amazing landings, Arel currently landing himself in first place, and he's just got to go for the risky finish. Oh, he misses, and he's not going to get finalist mode here. Arel does not get finalist. Marius with 10 points, Yukoi with 8. So Marius finding himself potentially a round away from as well gaining that finalist mode. He just has to finish second or better. Arel just has to finish. Arel could mess up and it wouldn't be a problem. We'll have to see two titans of the Trackmania universe, Arel and Marius. The Safe Meister versus the kid from France. I don't know if Arel is a nickname, but we're going to call him that. So we go into it. It's Marius actually getting the better of the two. At the drop down, over the engine off through the fragile to boost the no brakes. And on to the reset. The hairpin into the second leap of faith. You could even say that there's 4 leaps of faith if you count this jump coming up here. But I'm certain the wings on Marius's car, I assume those are wings, are going to be more than enough to keep him flying high. And here he goes into the final set of turns. He's going to go for the safe finish and will pick up the round. Arel, second place. He's going to punch his ticket for finalist mode. Yukoi with 6. So we have a double finalist scenario going into the next map, which I'm going to say is either Uptown or... I'm feeling mixing it up. Or it could be Mirror. No. Oh, it's mixing it up. Okay, if I stuck my first toe doing right. But here it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Marius with finalist mode, Arel with finalist mode, Yukoi 20 points off. If he wants finalist, he has to win twice in a row, a double deny. And then at that point, it just becomes the final 2 rounds of the semifinals. But right now, it's Arel taking the lead. Yukoi having to release there to avoid hitting the wall. As we can just see Arel way far up the road. Marius having to hang back, and there it is. There's Yukoi making the mistake. But right now, it's Arel, the man who has been running up front all day, every single bracket. Around the final turn he goes through the pillars, and there's Arel punching his ticket to the grand finals on Friday, and now it is just Marius, the Safe Meister himself. He's just got to finish 1 round ahead of Yukoi, and that'll be it, so we'll ride on board with the man from Deutschland against Yokoi. Yokoi trying to hold up the flag for the Czech Republic. His brethren have fallen left, right, and center as this tournament's gone on. And he is their only hope. Marius, I believe, one of the few drivers from Germany, has been doing an excellent job throughout this entire competition. But right now, not doing a really good job there. Yokoi in the lead, though. Going over the jumps here, they both get it about the same. Marius trying to opt for a less airtime line. And there it is. There's Yokoi. Picks up 10 points. If Yokoi can win this coming round, we will have double finalist in the last round, but it's Marius. All eyes on him. All he has to do is finish ahead of Yokoi. It doesn't matter how he does it. All he has to do is finish. But right now, he's not making the best case for himself, as he finds himself about 2/10 back off of Yokoi. Trying to find the time where he can. Yokoi absolutely running away with it right now. Half a second back for the Safemeister himself. He drops the gear there, and I think Yokoi might have dropped the gear as well. The gap closes up just a smidge. But ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're gonna have one final round. The last round of the semifinals comes down to this. Marius has been on finalist mode the last few rounds, but Yokoi could potentially knock him out. Oh, I don't know who to spectate. I don't want to curse somebody. At the start, here goes Marius. Takes the early lead over Yokoi. Yokoi who has to fall back and settle into second place right now. Could this potentially be part of the Marius master plan? Just drive it a little bit questionably, but here comes Yokoi with a ton of speed, and Yokoi overtakes, doesn't hit the wall. Oh, he's barely keeping this car going. There is no way, there is absolutely no way that Yokoi can screw this up. He's got all the space he needs. 7/10, almost 8/10 back to Marius. If he can just close it out here, and he's gonna do it. Yokoi, the man, the myth, the legend. He goes on through to the grand finals. He was sitting in last, and he pulls it back. Marius not happy with himself. I can absolutely imagine how it feels to be in that position. Unfortunate, but that is gonna do it for us. It's Arel. It's Yokoi. We did not see this coming, Arel. And Yokoi moving on. We all expected Marius to make it, but it just wasn't meant to be. Oh, that was so close. Yokoi, job well done, my friend. You have absolutely earned that. We were all expecting Marius to take it. Incredible run. Absolutely incredible run. Yes, I did get Arel and Marius in here somehow, some way.